When Barack Obama came to San Francisco for fundraising events in May 2010, he broke away one morning to visit the Solyndra solar panel factory across the bay in Fremont. In 2009, Solyndra had received $535 million in government loan guarantees.
So that's why we've placed a big emphasis on clean energy. It's the right thing to do for our environment. It's the right thing to do for our national security, but it's also the right thing to do for our economy. And we can see the positive impacts right here at Solyndra. When it's completed in a few months, Solyndra expects to hire 1,000 workers to manufacture solar panels and sell them across America and around the world.
In reality, within 6 months, Solyndra announced its expansion plans had been put on hold due to Chinese competition. The market had already turned against Solyndra. It is questionable whether its $535 million Department of Energy loan will ever be repaid. Venture capitalists are investors who provide funding to vetted, promising up-and-coming companies. This funding allows the startup to intensify its research and hiring in exchange for giving the financial backer participation in management. Yahoo, Microsoft, and Apple, among others, were given startup funding by venture capitalists before they became multi-billion-dollar tech giants. But the practice of venture capitalism has changed. As the examples of Solyndra, Tesla, and green energy companies show, VCs increasingly are hedging their bets by seeking government subsidies, government loan guarantees, and regulations that favor their economic models. Electric car maker Tesla was also praised in Obama's May 2010 appearance in Fremont.
Thanks to loans through the Department of Energy, which helped provide Tesla Motors with the financial wherewithal to expand, that shuttered plant is soon going to reopen. And once again, it will be a symbol of promise. An example of what's possible here in America. Tesla is joining with Toyota in a venture to put 1,000 skilled workers back to work manufacturing an all-electric car.
Tesla is a young company staffed with numerous auto, marketing, and advertising executives. Tesla faces two immediate hurdles: its current sales price, more than $100,000, and the reality that battery charging stations' development and placement are in their infancy. Tesla's long-term success is dependent on government funding and hefty tax credits. Rest assured, venture capitalists with holdings in Tesla, as well as those with investments in car battery manufacturing, will continue to push allied and donation-flush legislators for auto purchase tax credits and charging station subsidies. The question for the future will be whether electric cars are what American consumers want. In 2009, for example, Mercedes-Benz sold about 200,000 cars, whereas Tesla sold in the range of a few hundred in the United States. No firm better illustrates the venture capital infatuation with legislation and government favoritism than Kleiner Perkins of Menlo Park. Kleiner Perkins executive John Doerr made a fortune as an early backer of Google, and his political influence has been on the rise ever since. Although they should not be underestimated, it will be difficult for Kleiner Perkins to equal their billion-dollar Google payday. It is probable smaller bets that pay off will be their method of continued success in the future. Kleiner Perkins has sought carbon and weatherization legislation due to hundreds of millions of dollars in green tech investment. Kleiner Perkins has a sizable and formidable green tech team, but this group is composed of more investment bankers than scientists. Nothing better illustrates the venture capitalist quest to protect their own investments than the recent battle over Proposition 23. William Yateman has studied this issue for the Competitive Enterprise Institute.
The battle over Proposition 23 was framed as this fight between the forces of good, kind of these altruistic green energy producers, and the forces of evil, the hydrocarbon interests, these Texan oil companies. They were pretty much the same entity coming at it from the same position. That is, they were both trying to game the system to protect their moneyed interests. So there really isn't the distinction that perhaps that is popularly held in California. You had green venture capitalists whose business model is dependent upon favorable subsidies, favorable laws that give their product, green energy, a boost on the market because it otherwise cannot compete. And they spent $30 million. They spent 3 times as much. It's incorrect to assume this is good versus evil. This is two moneyed interests, both seeking to tilt the rules of the game in their favor. In essence, seeking legislative favor, seeking political favor.
In conclusion, Sand Hill Road has more PhDs than Alphabet Soup, but there are still no Teslas on the road.